friends, good evening. It is just coming up to 5 to 5 on Monday evening. Welcome to the Shed of Wonder, home of the FCC. I hope you're all well. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I must start by saying thank you to all of you legends that could make it on Sunday, yesterday, down to Dartmoor for the FCC group ride. Oh my days, what a ride that was. Absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Just beautiful scenery, the people, the cafe stops. It was just immense. What an absolutely wonderful day it was. And a massive thank you as well to Mr. Dave Harvey, you legend, for organising the day and the route. Just superb, mate. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much. Yeah, immense, absolutely immense. And I have other news as well. Rather sad and disappointing news. That FCC legend, Mr. Stevie Wonkster, has decided to leave the FCC, unfortunately. I found out yesterday whilst on the FCC Dartmoor ride. I messaged him quickly. I think he thinks he's more of a Zwifter than a cyclist, and I said, well, the two are exactly the same, so you don't have to leave the FCC. There are lots of FCC legends that Zwift and cycle out on the road or on the gravel or whatever, or just Zwift indoors. It makes no difference. So hopefully he'll change his mind, but Stevie has left the FCC. Yeah, hopefully he'll come back. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But friends, as I said earlier, welcome to the Shed of Wonder, home of the FCC. I obviously have a tea. Hashtag tea for Frosty. No espressos here today, although I should have had one earlier. I had a cracking ride this morning with Mr. Graham Arthur's, just over 30 miles it was. And if you saw my picture on Strava, I had a massive veggie lunch. It was, well, it's classed as a veggie breakfast, but it comes with chips and oh, it's just immense, absolutely immense. £5.90, absolute bargain. Right, anyway, I'm waffling on. Friends, let's crack on with the FCC Strava review for last week ending September the 8th. Unfortunately, Strava was playing up a bit last night, so I didn't get the correct total of miles that we'd all ridden last week, but let's just say it was massive. Right, okay, so as we always do, I should say, let's start with last week's leaders. Top of the tree, distance, first position, Jeremy Prodgar, 384.9 miles, outstanding stuff, Jeremy. Mr. Martin Redding, you're up there in second. That is phenomenal, mate. 354.8 miles, absolutely superb. Massive kudos to you, buddy. Third place, Luke Toms, with an equally impressive 338.4 miles. Brilliant, Luke. Longest ride, first place, Carl Morrison, 125.6 miles. Brilliant stuff, Carl. Second position, Jeremy Prodgar, 123.8 miles. Outstanding, Jeremy. Third position, Stephen Crossley, 121.8. Absolutely superb, Stephen. Climbing, first place, Mark Sewell, 23,432 feet. Absolutely cracking stuff, you legend. Second place, Eugene, with 21,558 feet. That is massive, Eugene. Fantastic stuff. And Brian Roden's there in third position with 20,984 feet. Absolutely superb, Brian. Brilliant stuff. Massive kudos to all you legends there. Okay, so I will scroll up and we will look deeper down into last week's top 100 leaderboard, which sadly I do not feature in. Right, first place, Jeremy Prodgar, 384.9 miles, 6 rides in total. Absolutely superb, Jeremy. Mr. Martin Redding, second place in the table. Take a bow, young man. Brilliant. 354.8 miles. 8 rides in total. Longest ride 65.3 miles. Superb. 10,449 feet of climbing. Brilliant. Treat yourself to a beer tonight, maybe some nuts as well. Luke Toms, third position. Brilliant stuff, Luke. 338.4 miles, 10 rides in total. Longest ride 110.1 miles. Absolutely outstanding, my friend. Darren Elbro, brilliant stuff, Darren. Fourth position, 295.6 miles, 13 rides in total. Longest ride 104.6, which was your ride you did yesterday, raising money for cancer research, I believe. Absolutely fantastic stuff, you legend. Dallas Reynolds, 5th position. Dallas, 290.5 miles. Absolutely superb, mate. 100.9 miles was your longest ride. Carl Morrison's in 6th, 281.6. Longest ride was 125.6, as we mentioned at the top of the review. John Millett is there in 7th place, 271.6 miles. Brilliant stuff, John. 8th place is Gary Pastrick. Sorry, couldn't eyesight going a bit there. 269.5 miles. Longest ride 110.4 miles. Absolutely outstanding, Gary. Mark Schul in 9th, 266.3, 15 rides in total. Brilliant stuff, Mark. Ross Clark's there in 10th position with 263.4 miles. Longest ride for Ross, 119.8 miles. Absolutely phenomenal, mate. Brilliant. So many of you legends now are doing massive century rides and more. It's so impressive. Really cracking stuff. Chris Goff is there in 11th with 261.3 miles, 7 rides in total. Another century rider, 118.9 miles. Brilliant stuff, Chris. D. Michael Dozier is there in 12th with 260.9. Ian Rigby, legend, 13th position, 260.4. Cracking stuff, Ian. I hope you're good, mate. Chad is there in 14th with 256.6. Fez is in 15th with 256.1. Rowan is there in 16th with 254.1. Longest ride, Rowan, 116.8 miles. Fantastic stuff, mate. Tim NFTO is in 17th with 236.8. Keith Maddox in 18th with 235.3. Rupert the Mammal Englander is in 19th with 234.3. Longest ride, Rupert, 110.6 miles. Cracking stuff, mate. Mark Smith in 20th, 230.4. Absolutely cracking stuff, mate. Excellent stuff. I know you've been, I think you and Becky were on holiday last week, was it, in Mallorca? Correct me if I'm wrong. Absolutely superb riding. Becky Smith, 21st. Absolutely superb, Becky. Brilliant mileage, 230.4 also. 6 rides for you. Outstanding stuff. Welcome to the FCC as well, Becky, new member. Keith Clark, 22nd place, 229.9. Brilliant stuff, Keith. Longest ride, 110.3 miles. Absolutely outstanding, my friend. Brian Roden's there in 23rd with 228.7. Emma Hadley's in 24th with 227.2. Pete Jones is there in 25th with 225.2. Lee Allen's in 26th with 220.8. Stefan Holdorf's in 27th with 218.6. Rosa's there in 28th with 214.9. Rosa, absolutely outstanding. Longest ride, 116.8. That is phenomenal. Brilliant stuff, Rosa. And to all of you legends that I read out there previously, fantastic riding last week. Lee Davis is there in 29th with 211.5. David Raynham's in 30th with 209.7. IB is there in 31st, 209.6. Cracking stuff, mate. Again, you're in top 100. Legend. Longest ride, 110.5 miles. Absolutely superb. Brilliant stuff. Ian Chandler's there in 32nd with 206.1. Jonathan Sapier's there in 33rd with 205.4. Awesome stuff, Jonathan. Longest ride, 117 miles. Absolutely superb. Paul Stevens is there in 34th. Hello, buddy. Hope you're good. 203.3 miles for you. Richie, 35th place. Absolutely superb, you legend. 195.7 miles. 9 rides for you. I saw you had a cracking ride with Ming yesterday. Cracking stuff. Did I say cracking twice there? Tony Starks, 36th. Brilliant stuff, Tony. You legend. 194.4 miles. Dave Brown's in 37th with 194 miles. Andrew Wilson's there in 38th with 190.3. Stephen Crossley, 39th with 188 miles exactly. Longest ride, as we mentioned at the top of the review, 121.8 miles. Cracking stuff, you legend. Dave De Winter's in 40th with 187.2. Chris Crabb is in 41st with 185.3. Awesome stuff, Chris. So good to see you yesterday on the Dartmoor ride, you legend. Absolutely fantastic to ride with you again, mate. Great to see you. Hopefully see you in October when we do. We'll try and do a Richmond Park Winter Park loop. For those that want to come down for that as well, you're more than welcome. Junior Macmillan, hello Junior, 42nd, 184.3 miles last week. Brilliant stuff. 94.4 was your longest ride. Duncan, hello you legend, hope you're well. 43rd place, 181.8. Paul M is in 44th, 180.6. Longest ride, 110.5. Awesome stuff, Paul. Philip Newborough, hello Philip, 45th place, 179.9 miles for you. Jens Buckman's in 46th with 177.3. James Todd is in 47th with 177.1. Jim Plummer's there in 48th. Hello Jim, 176.7 miles for you. Cracking stuff, you legend. And all you legends I just mentioned there as well. James Finn is in 49th with 176.5. Alasdair, awesome stuff, you legend. I know you were in, I'm sure, were you in Spain last week? I'm sure you were in Spain, mate. 50th place, absolutely superb, 173.5 miles. Awesome stuff, mate. 20,604 feet of climbing as well. Phenomenal, brilliant. Jochen is there in 51st with 172.8. Eugene's there in 52nd with 172.3. Corey Ring's there in 53rd with 172.3 also. Terry Tinsel's there in 54th with 172 miles. Kevin Williford's there in 55th with 171.6. Myro's in 56th with 170.2. Chris Hancock's there in 57th with 169.7. Nige is there in 58th. Tarmac Softy Legend, 169.6 miles. Absolutely outstanding, Nige. 58th position, brilliant stuff. And to all you legends that I just read out there as well, massive climbing and massive miles and massive climbing. Absolutely superb riding last week. Paul Farmer is there in 59th with 165.8. Sam Duff is in 60th with 163.7. Steve Go Vegan's there in 61st with 163 miles. John Tolley's in 62nd with 162.3. Helena Knightley's there in 63rd with 161.7. Will Duffy's in 64th with 160.4. Chaiman's there in 65th with 159.7. Cracking stuff. Chris the Train in 66th place with 159.4. Cricked Wit, 67th position, you legend, 158.9. James Frost is in 68th. Hello James, 156.5 miles for you. Samuel is there in 69th with 155.2. Laura Fisher is in 70th with 155 miles, 8 rides in total. Average speed 16.2 miles an hour. Cracking stuff, Laura. 71st we have Flint Square. Hello Flint, hope you're good, buddy. 154.8 miles for you, 10 rides in total. Todd Foster is there in 72nd. Legend, you're in the top 100, Todd. Fantastic stuff. 154.7 miles for you, mate. 5 rides in total last week. 73rd we have Zed McClunk with 153.2. Chris Tracese is there in 74th with 152.8. Cracking stuff, Chris. John Gerwitz Dunn is in 75th with 152.6. Stephen Smith is in 76th with 151.2. Brilliant stuff, Stephen. And I'm sure Stephen is currently doing the North Coast 500. So good luck, my friend. Hope it's going well. I've seen some of your updates on the FCC Facebook page. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope the weather's not too bad. 77th, Jay Han, 150.6 miles. Helen Millett is there in 78th. Helen, outstanding, 148.3 miles. Brilliant stuff. Jose's there in 79th with 148.2. Mark W's in 80th with 147.3. Brilliant stuff, Mark. Frank B, 1951, is there in 81st with 147.3 also. Ian Brewer is there in 82nd. Cracking stuff, Ian, 146.5 miles. Daniel Hall is there in 83rd, 144.3. Longest ride, 100.2 miles, which I know was your first ever century ride, Daniel. So massive kudos and congratulations to you, buddy. Jorgenis is there in 84th with 143.7. Chris Polly's in 85th with 142.1. Todd Van Gordon is there in 86th with 141.7. Todd, I'm sure you're a new member to the FCC, so welcome to the crew. Longest ride for you, Todd, 102 miles, century rider, brilliant stuff, absolutely superb. Jeff's there in 87th with 140.6. Fat Cyclist is there in 88th with 140.1. Cracking stuff, you legend. I'm sure you're a new member to the FCC as well, so welcome to the crew. Trevor Hook's in 89th with 138.9. John is there. John Sakura is there in 90th with 138.8. David Shields in 91st with 137.6. Dave Nicol is there in 92nd with 137.1. Cracking stuff, Dave. Tony Ramos is in 93rd with 137.1 also. Andy Craig's in 94th with 135.9. In 95th we have John Hart with 134.6. Brilliant stuff, John. Josip's there in 96th with 134.2. Alan Sweeney's there in 97th with 133.6. Andy Swain is in 98th with 133.1. In 99th we have Bernard, the vegan cyborg, 133.1 also. Cracking stuff, my friend. And in 100th place is Jonathan Lee with 133 miles exactly. Superb, Jonathan. 7,379 feet of climbing. 4 rides in total. Awesome stuff, my friend. And massive kudos to every single one of you throughout the FCC for getting out there last week on your bike and putting in the miles and the effort. Absolutely superb once again. Brilliant. Okay, friends, now it's time for Rider of the Week, or as this week I'm calling it, Riders of the Week, because there will be 2 or 3 Riders of the Week. I'm just waiting for some new socks to come in, so if you are a Rider of the Week, just drop me a quick email. I'll put my email address in the description below and I'll send you a picture of the socks that come in. Anyway, let's crack on. Rider of the Week,
guys. Riders of the Week for last week, week ending September the 8th. There are 3 Riders of the Week in no particular order. You legends are Martin Redding, Becky Smith and Daniel Hall. Riders of the Week for last week. Congratulations, you legends. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely fantastic riding.
Martin, Becky and Daniel, many congratulations. Riders of the Week for last week. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, just drop me an email. I'll put my email address in the description below, and once I receive the caps, no, they're not caps, they are socks. Once I receive the caps from Planet X this week, I will drop me an email with a picture. Just let me know which pair of socks you would like. But many congratulations, Riders of the Week, absolutely outstanding. That concludes the FCC Strava review for last week. Thank you so much for joining me here in the Shed of Wonder. It's been great to see you all again on this Monday afternoon / evening. Just to let you know, I will be putting up details on the Strava and Facebook FCC groups for the next FCC group ride, which will be around kind of my area on Sunday the 22nd of September. The route will probably be about 30 miles, 35 miles, a couple of hills, nothing too massive. We'll be starting off at Blackwell's, the famous sausage cafe, and we will be going over to Albury and stopping at the Musette Cafe, and then finishing back at Blackwell's for any. We may not get there. We may not get back for the breakfast serving, but if anyone wants to stop there at the end after the ride and have tea, coffee, cake, I'm sure they'll be serving lunches as well. We shall be doing that, so it'll be great to see you if you can make it on Sunday the 22nd. It'll probably be an 8 AM start, but I'll put details up on Strava and Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me. Look after yourselves, have a fantastic week, and please stay safe out there. I will see you in a couple of days with the Dartmoor vlog. Bye for now.